Come on over, Nika, have a seat. My name's Michael, by the way. I'm your physio today.
Nice to meet you.
So it looks like you've hurt your shoulder. Alright, tell me about that.
I heard it quite a number of months ago. It wasn't too bad at the time. Thought it would go away, but it hasn't. And recently, as I'm sort of starting to increase what I'm doing at the gym, it's actually getting worse. So I thought I'd come in and see what I can do.
Do you remember what you were doing when you heard it?
Yeah, I was doing a bench press.
Okay.
And I felt it kind of almost like a ripping sensation, but it wasn't overly painful. Like I finished out the set. It was a bit sore the next day, so I thought I'd just deload it for a bit. Got a little bit better, but it's just sort of been a bit niggly since, and now that I'm starting to build back up again, I'm in a build phase again, it's getting worse. Yeah.
How long ago was that again?
About 4 months ago.
4 months ago, okay.
Yeah.
How's it been from, say, 4 months ago to today?
Well, initially when I deloaded, got better.
Yeah.
Like I could hardly feel it again. So I decided to go back into training, and then really over the last probably month or so, as I'm sort of starting to build back up again to heavier weights, it's gotten heaps worse.
Okay.
Frustrating.
When you first felt it, you're doing a bench press, was that dumbbells, barbell?
It was a barbell, yeah.
Okay, and you felt a ripping sensation?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. In terms of where you felt the pain, whereabouts was it?
Sort of through here.
Oh, yeah.
So it does sort of radiate down sometimes, and sometimes it feels really tight through the back, and sometimes through the front as well.
Okay, so when we look at pain, we kind of like to divide it into different regions and categories. So let's say pain A down the front there when you first felt it rip.
Yeah.
What would you scale that out of 10?
Depends on what I'm doing, but it can get to about an 8 out of 10. It's definitely the worst.
8 out of 10, you'd say kind of from the top there, how far down?
Probably like down to about there.
Okay, what kind of pain?
It says aches. It's a bit sharp during the movement, then it'll ache afterwards.
Oh, the pain at the back, tell me about that.
It's just really achy through the back. It gets really tight after I've been bench pressing.
Yep.
But it's definitely worse through the front for sure.
Alright, now just to clarify, you don't have any referral down your hand or anything like that?
No, it really just goes to about here, just the outside of my arm.
Okay, no pins and needles, numbness?
No.
No neck pain?
Sometimes like up through here.
Yeah, okay.
Just it's tight though, more so than pain. A bit achy.
Headaches? No headaches?
No, not too bad.
Okay, so it's mainly those kind of two areas there and there.
Yeah.
Alright, now throughout the day, say kind of the morning compared to the afternoon, does it change much throughout the day?
It depends on if I've been gymming. Obviously, if I go to the gym, do some bench, stuff like that, it can get pretty sore towards the end of the day, and it'll keep aching into the night.
Okay, so very kind of activity dependent.
Yeah.
Anything else other than the bench press that aggravates it?
Anything overhead
Okay.
annoys it a fair bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, not really.
Okay, how about throughout the night? Do you get a good night of sleep?
If I roll onto it, it's a bit sore.
Okay.
And definitely if I've had a day at the gym, it aches overnight. So I do sometimes wake up with it, but it's not too bad. But I would like to get a bit of sleep, obviously.
Yeah, for sure. Now, just a couple other questions about it. Was there any popping when you first felt it, say 4 months ago?
Just a ripping sensation. I mean, it just does clunk around a bit, but it was doing that before.
Clunky, yeah. So it still clunks now?
Yeah.
And what about clicking?
Yeah, a little bit clicky here and there, but again, I've always had a bit of a clicky shoulder on that side.
Have you had much of a history of injury there? Like, have you dislocated it or anything like that? No other significant shoulder injuries?
No.
Any significant neck injuries?
No.
Okay. Now, to get the pain better, have you tried much? Like, I know you said a deload, which seemed to help a little bit. Have you tried anything else, like DP or?
Not heaps. The physio cream that you guys have is pretty good.
Yeah, no, it is really good, that stuff. Yeah.
But I haven't really tried any. I don't really know what to do, to be honest.
Alright, that's plenty of questions about the shoulder. What do you do for work?
I own pharmacy businesses.
Oh, nice. You do pharmacy at uni, obviously.
Yeah, I did, but I was working in one, got the opportunity to buy one, and I did a couple since then, which is cool.
Yeah, nice. How about any hobbies? What do you get up to on the weekend?
Just heaps of gym. Like I'm building up to a powerlifting comp, and I heard you were pretty good with the powerlifting industry. That's why.
Yeah, 3 tons of powerlifters. Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously a lot of my time is taken up by that.
Yeah.
Other than that, nothing too crazy.
Yeah. Okay. Is there any significant past medical history?
No, I'm pretty healthy otherwise. Yeah.
No surgeries.
No, I'm lucky.
Yeah. No major operations like trauma or anything like that.
No.
All right. Now I've just got a couple of questions to get through to make sure there's nothing too sinister going on. Just a quick list here. Do you have any thyroid conditions? Heart?
No.
Respiratory?
Nope.
Epilepsy?
Nope.
Asthma?
Nope.
Diabetes?
Nope.
Corticosteroids?
No.
No corticosteroids. All right. Before we finish up, quick couple of questions about your normal health. How's your general health? How would you describe it?
Yeah, like I said, I've been really lucky, pretty healthy, no major concerns. Never have to go to the doctor. Try to avoid them.
Any changes in weight? Dramatic changes in weight? No?
Oh, I mean muscle, yeah, significantly.
Yeah, I can see that. Investigations, like imaging, any x-rays?
I did have ultrasound back when I did it about 4 months ago.
Yeah, okay.
And it just came back saying a bit of bursitis.
Alright, something we can have a look at.
Yeah.
Did you bring that with you today? It's alright.
Forgot about it till you asked me actually.
I can get the girls to track that down for you anyway.
Cool.
Any medications at the moment? No, nothing at all. Okay, how about goals? Have you got any short-term goals you want to get to?
Really, I just want to get back into my normal training program without the shoulder pain.
Yeah, that'd be good.
And then be able to get through that comp.
Yeah, okay. Yep, sounds good. Alright, well, that's plenty. I think I've got a good idea. How about we have a bit of a look at it?
Yeah.
Set it up on the bed.
Cool. Thank you.
No worries. Alright, have a seat, Nika. After those tests, it looks like you've probably, I reckon 4 months ago or so, you've probably torn the pec muscle in there.
Oh, yeah.
I reckon that's healed, but there's probably a ton of scar tissue in there still. And as a result of that, you've probably now developed a little bit of impingement in the shoulder. You've got your rotator cuff end, that bursa that seems to be inflamed on the skin that comes through here, and I reckon that might be getting pinched because of the scar tissue there when you're bench pressing. So that's the diagnosis. That's something that we can start to have a look at. So we might start some treatment now. We might start some soft tissue work through the pec. Sound alright?
Yeah, it's fine.
Sweet. I might get you to jump back up on the bed and rip in.
Alright.
Alright, just have a seat, Biggs. So all that work we just did to the front of your shoulder and back shoulder, looks like the range of motion's a lot better.
Feels like heaps better.
Feels looser, yeah. I reckon there's a bit of scar tissue in there.
Yeah.
I reckon that other pain that you had, pain B up here, is because you're elevating heaps.
Yeah.
Which I reckon that upper trap's getting tight, elevating the shoulder blade when you're benching, which allows you to fall in and pinch it. So we'll just keep chipping away at that.
Yeah.
That sleeper stretch I just gave you, make sure you do that 3 times a day if you can. I really want to get as much internal rotation in that shoulder as we can, which will help you in the bench position.
Okay, yeah.
Now, normally with something like this scar tissue that's developed over say 4 months, it's probably going to take us a little bit of time to get it better. So what we'll do is we'll progress that sleeper stretch into say some rotator cuff strength work, maybe some banded work like that next week. We'll start looking at some dumbbell strength work. Then we'll start looking at the way your shoulder blade moves. We might look at, there's a muscle in here called serratus. There's a bunch of different muscles basically that hold your shoulder blade nice and still, and we'll work through that, and then we'll get you back to bench pressing pain free, and hopefully there's not as much scarring in that pec so the shoulder moves a bit nicer.
How long do you reckon that may take?
Yeah, look, something like that I'll probably be expecting kind of 8 to 10 weeks.
Okay.
To see a good change in the way that shoulder moves.
Sort of expected a long-term thing, yeah.
Yeah, normally they say kind of 10% of how long you've had the injuries, how long it takes to get better.
Yeah.
I'd say you've been powerlifting for 5-6 years now, so there's probably been a bit of dysfunction there the whole time. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised in 10 weeks maybe we get a nice change, and then from there we we start looking at some other things and see how it all winds up.
Yeah.
We should be able to get to that comp pretty pain-free, I reckon, and pretty smooth and strong.
That's the main thing. Yeah.
Any questions?
No, not really. No, I think that pretty much covers it all. It's a lot, but yeah.
Yeah, a lot to take in. Feel free to give us a call throughout the week or anything like that if you need to. I'll send through that exercise again through our app PhysiTrack as well, so you can recap it and have a look at other video within that. So wait out the front and get your book in for next week.
Awesome. Cool.
Sound good?
I'll see you next week. Thank you so much for
No
today.
worries.